go. Oh, looks like you're not seeing it this episode. There are a lot of Marvel shows coming to Disney Plus in the near future. Now I know this is not news. Everybody knows this already. In fact, I think there are actually more Marvel shows confirmed for Disney Plus than there are Marvel movies confirmed to be coming to theaters. It's a strange new world we're living in. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like recently there's been a lot of news and speculation and theory surrounding She-Hulk, one of the 3 Marvel television shows that were announced back in August of last year. Which is odd because we really don't know anything about this show. It doesn't have a release date, it doesn't even have a production start date yet. But maybe we can piece together any and all clues and speculation that we can find on the internet and try and figure out what exactly to expect from this upcoming show, because it sounds like She-Hulk may be one of the most important characters for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Again, strange new world. So before we dive in, let's answer the question of who exactly is She-Hulk? Is she really just another woman character created solely to cater to SJWs and erase all the white males from comics? No, of course not. Who honestly thinks that? She-Hulk was created 40 years ago back in 1980 in the pages of Savage She-Hulk #1 by Stan Lee and John Buscema. And fun fact, She-Hulk was the last original character that Stan Lee created for Marvel. Someone in the comments is gonna write Ravage 2099, but who cares about him? She was actually created as a way to preserve Marvel's copyright on the concept of a female Hulk character. See, at the time, the Incredible Hulk TV show was on the air, but was starting to wane in popularity. Marvel was afraid that the executives of the show would try and create a new character, specifically a female Hulk character, to try and boost ratings or possibly create a female-centric Hulk spin-off show. But that would make any such character the sole property of Universal, who was producing the Incredible Hulk show at the time. So in a preemptive move, Marvel created their own female Hulk as a way to ensure that they own the full copyright to any such character. It's also the same line of thinking that led to the creation of Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman. It's amazing how 2 characters who were basically only created as legal safeguards against copycats wound up going on to being such well-loved, iconic superheroes. Only in comics. She-Hulk is the alter ego of Jennifer Walters, the daughter of a small-town sheriff who accidentally gets caught in the crossfire of crime boss Nicholas Trask. Needing a blood transfusion to save her life, the only person available with matching blood type happens to be her cousin, Bruce Banner. This saves Jennifer's life. However, due to the gamma radiation in Banner's bloodstream, she gains the ability to turn into a Hulk of her own, the Savage She-Hulk. Now, unlike her famous cousin, She-Hulk isn't nearly as large or as strong as the Incredible Hulk. But by the same token, she's also not as angry or as savage as her male counterpart, despite the title of her debut series. Sure, in the beginning, her transformations were triggered by anger, but over time, She-Hulk was able to control her transformations, going from She-Hulk to Jennifer at will, even retaining her human personality. She eventually just remains as She-Hulk full-time, and even goes on to become a very well-known and successful superhero lawyer. Yes, more well-known and successful than Matt Murdock. This concept alone has led to some really cool, really funny stories over the years, in particular a run by John Byrne in the 80s that introduced the concept that She-Hulk can break the 4th wall, meaning that she was doing it over a decade before Deadpool made it cool. So that's all well and good, but what about the TV show? That's what we're here to actually talk about, right? Well, we know that She-Hulk is part of the second wave of MCU shows debuting on Disney+. It was announced back in August of last year, along with Ms. Marvel and our boy Moon Knight. These 3 characters will be getting their own shows on Disney+, and they would debut sometime after all the pre-established heroes got their chance to shine. Now, we know that Jessica Gao is the head writer of the series. We know that it's going to take place in the MCU proper, and that eventually She-Hulk will make an appearance in the actual movies. But we don't really know plot details or who's starring in it or even when they're gonna start filming this thing. These shows are planned so far in advance that I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't debut until like 2023. But over this past weekend, we did kind of get to see some insight as to what Disney is planning for this show. First, it was revealed that Marvel is looking specifically for an Alison Brie type to play She-Hulk. To which the world stood up and collectively said, why not just cast Alison Brie? That'll probably work just fine, and hell, she'll probably be done with glow by the time you're ready to start production on this. But what exactly does that mean, an Alison Brie type? Oh, why don't we ask her? Allison, what does that mean?
You know, an Alison Brie type is like, I'm sassy and fun, but like I'll kick your butt, but you'll like it.
Yeah, sounds right for She-Hulk. She-Hulk is, after all, a much more lighthearted counterpart to the Hulk. Her stories aren't really known for being dark and dour and depressing. They're known for being comedies that sometimes get involved in legal drama. And occasionally there's punching, obviously. And Alison Brie is of course a very funny actress who has been in some very funny projects, and she's not afraid to do an odd action sequence in those projects. I mean, that's actually her getting body slammed on glow sometimes. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that She-Hulk is going to be a comedy, given the type of actress they want for the lead role, and given the head writer's background in television comedy. And you know what? That's fine. I think honestly, especially for the Disney MCU shows, making them very different from one another is essential. And it does look like they are going down this route. Falcon and Winter Soldier looks like it's gonna be a very serious show. WandaVision looks like a very bizarre trip, and Loki looks like Loki. Okay, that last one, admittedly, they didn't really show us a whole lot of in that preview trailer, but it's something. Now, the second bit of news we got this weekend actually came from the Hulk himself. Mark Ruffalo admitted that he is working with Kevin Feige to try and figure out a way for his character to appear on the She-Hulk TV show, which is A, smart, and B, kind of necessary. I mean, you really can't do a She-Hulk show without the Hulk. He is the whole reason why she has powers in the first place. It's like doing a Supergirl TV show without Superman. Eventually, you're gonna have to address that elephant in the room. And adding Ruffalo to the show would help cement She-Hulk's place in the greater MCU. Hell, he doesn't even have to be in the entire season. Just show up for an episode or two, give She-Hulk her powers, sort of get the plot moving, and then he can be on his way. Or of course, he could just stay for the whole thing. It looks like these shows aren't gonna be more than 6 episodes a season anyway, so I'm sure he can find time in his schedule to do that. There was also a rumor that William Hurt would be added to the show, reprising his role as Thunderbolt Ross from the movies, and possibly even turning into Red Hulk on the show. Now, I don't know, personally, I don't think this is true, but I would not be against it if it happened. Because currently in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there are really only 2 Hulk-like characters, the Hulk and Abomination. I bet you forgot about him. Meanwhile, in the comics, there's a whole plethora of Hulk-like characters who transform when they get angry or for whatever reason. So adding Thunderbolt Ross to the show as Red Hulk would open the door for more of these characters to appear. Now, admittedly, this is not much, but I think it's enough to give us an idea of what to expect from She-Hulk and the future of the MCU. It looks like they're going to embrace the comedy of the source material fully, and that they are serious about making this character a permanent fixture of this universe. Sounds like a smart move to me. I think this is a good way to add some variety to the MCU while also including a familiar face to help us get used to this new status quo. The only question, of course, is Ruffalo going to appear as Bruce Banner or as Professor Hulk? Remember, this show is supposed to take place in Phase 4, i.e. after Avengers Endgame, and in that, he was Professor Hulk, the body of the Hulk, but the mind of Bruce Banner. Are they gonna do that on a television budget, or are they just gonna have him be Bruce Banner the whole time to try and save some money? Although Marvel and Disney have shown that they're not above just throwing money at the screen to make the product that they want to make. Just have to wait and see, I guess. But what do you think about Marvel's plans for She-Hulk? Who do you think they should cast if they don't wind up getting Alison Brie? Let me know down below or anywhere on the internet. Although seriously, they should just get Alison Brie for it. She'll be more than happy to do it. I bet you she will be. For more on She-Hulk, be sure to check out the Amazon affiliate links in the description below to some good classic She-Hulk stories, including this comic book run by Charles Soule and Javier Pulido. Fun fact, Charles Soule is an actual lawyer, so the law stuff in this series is pretty spot on, I assume. And yes, I'm also including the 2016 She-Hulk by Mariko Takami, where she is actually a full angry rage monster. I know somebody's gonna mention it if I don't. And of course, do not forget that we have new videos on this channel every single Tuesday and Wednesday, with Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern being Wulff Den Live. So subscribe to see all of that, like this video, and share it with a friend who needs some superhero legal drama in their life now that they're not making any more Daredevil episodes. Wait, do you think that this is their way to introduce Matt Murdock into the MCU proper? Like they're gonna cast Charlie Cox to be Jennifer Walters' legal rival in the show, like they do a back and forth court case? Oh man, I should write for Marvel. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.